Hello and welcome to Life with Jane. We're going to be doing a supper dish again. So it is just bits and pieces that I've got, which is going to be, sorry I'm getting a spoon, which is going to make a supper dish. So I've got a bowl on here and I'm doing it over the cooker because we're going to be cooking it. And I've got some self-raising flour, and I'm just going to put 1, 2, 3, and I've got some here that I was using for something else that I just need to put in there for about 4 ounces of self-raising flour. It doesn't have to be perfectly accurate because you'll see as you make it, it will mix in quite nicely. Then we're going to add some seasoning. So we're going to have some salt, reasonable amount of salt. We're going to have some pepper. Now let me have my garlic pepper. There we are. People have asked me where I got, this garlic pepper I actually got from Sainsbury's. So that's where I got my garlic pepper from. Just have a sprinkle of that in there. And then I'm going to put some mixed herbs. Just want stuff that's going to make it just a little bit tastier. So that's just standard. These mixed herbs are from Lidl, I think. So those, yeah, those ones are from Lidl. And I think that's probably all that I need in there. Okay, then I need to take an egg. So I'm just going to grab an egg, break it in a bowl. I've just washed that up and that's not very clean. Hold on a second. That'll do. Okay, so I'm literally just, and now I'm just off camera, but I'm just breaking an egg. And then we will whisk the egg. Like this, so you just need to whisk your egg up. And if you want an egg to go a little bit further, if you just add a little bit of water, so probably a tablespoon, I'll show you. That's probably about a dessert spoon, and it will just make the egg go a little bit further. So just mixing that egg in. So 1 egg, and we're going to pour the egg into the flour mixture, and we're going to then start to mix it in together. And just mix it in like that, and then we can start adding some milk. Now I've got, it's probably about half a pint, no, 1/4 of a pint, but you're literally just going to add a little bit at a time. Mix it up until you get, so a little bit more. So this is not, this is only going to be probably not even 1/4 of a, can you see how it's quite a stiff batter? You don't want it to be too loose. So I'm hoping you can see this as I'm mixing it in. Yes, you can. So you can see how it's starting to sort of stretch a bit and gluteny. Okay, so that's basically the batter. You want the batter to be really quite stiff, because if you have it too soft, you'll end up not being able to. So this was literally, oh, I don't know, a few tablespoons. Literally, you're just going to have to gauge it, because you can see how thick that is. It's quite a thick sort of batter. Okay, then I have, and I've let these cool on purpose. So in this pan, we have got an onion that's softened. We've got a grated carrot, because I had a carrot that was over. So it's quite a large carrot. So that's grated. And as I say, those have all cooled. So I want to add that to my mixture. And I've also got some sweet corn, like this, which again I had some over and thought, right, I will do that. So I'm going to add into this bowl all of those ingredients. So let me just add and you can see the pan it's quite cool now. You don't want to add it in hot, otherwise you'll be cooking everything. So just allow everything to cool down once you've cooked it, but it gives you all of the flavours and things. So I'm literally just taking all the bits in there. That's one bit. So as I say, that's carrot, onion, garlic in that one, and in this one is sweet corn. And again, you know, add as much or as little as you want. Depends how battery you want it, or how vegetably you want it. Oh, it's me throwing it everywhere. I want mine to be quite vegetable. Excuse all of that. There was me I'm trying to do it on top of the stove, because we're going to be cooking it on here, and it's quite difficult to mix it in on top of my range. So, but you can see how it will mix in quite nicely. And I've got all of that flavour. I'm going to have to put something in on top of here, aren't I? Hold on a second. Let me just put my chopping board on here for a minute. There we are. Oh, we're still in. Yes, we're still in shot. Okay, so you want to really mix it all in really well. There we go. And that's given us some lovely vegetable fritters. So I'm just going to take these bits that I flew out and just put them back in. They literally flew out of the pan, but everything is quite clean, so let's mix those in. Right, so that is our mixture. That's how it looks. So I'm going to put that to one side. And then what we need to do is I need to get my frying pan out, and I've got a nice heavy bottomed pan, which is very good for cooking things like this. Okay, so let's just put the gas on it. You want it fairly hot. Maybe not quite that hot. And then I'm just going to put, I would normally put olive oil, but this time I'm going to actually put some vegetable oil in, because I want it to come quite hot. So this is sunflower oil. Again, was a Sainsbury's one. So I'm just going to put a little bit of sunflower oil in. You want enough to cover the bottom of the pan and to give a good covering. And then we need to leave that for it to get really nice and hot. So let's wait until it's got really hot. I'm going to put my flour and things back and put my other bits and bobs in, ready to wash up. So that is looking quite good. Then what we need to do is, I tend to take two dessert spoons. So 2 dessert spoons like that. And you're just going to pick up a spoonful of the mixture and just put it in on the pan like that. Take another spoonful of the mixture. Dessert spoons are quite good because they're the right sort of size, and as I say, you can then just help it out with the other. I'm just putting a dollop in. See how many we make. I'm making reasonable sized ones. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5. 6. That one in the middle. I could probably make, what's that, 7? I'll probably get about 12 out of that mixture. But as I say, depending on what vegetables and things you use will depend on how much you get out of it. So what I'm going to do is, as soon as they've started to hold together, I'm going to move them a little bit closer, then I can get another one in. Or another couple in, because then they won't stick together. If you do it too quickly, then it will stick together and it will become one sort of big lump, and we don't really want that. So I can get, whoops, another one in there. But you can see why you want the batter to be quite stiff, because otherwise it'll roll everywhere. Might just get try and get this one in as a big one, I think. Let me see if I can just move this across just a little bit. I think I should be able to, with a bit of luck. Right, let's just put this one in. It's quite a big one there, but I can spread him out a bit like that. Okay, so that is all of that mixture. But so how many have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's funny, isn't it? I seem to do 9s quite often. Okay, so that is, just need to keep them like that. And that's why, as I say, vegetable oil is quite good, because it comes quite nicely. Now, I need to be able to turn these over, so let me just see, which one did we start with? This side, I think, probably. So let's have a little look and see. There we go. And as I say, you turn them over a few times until they're beautiful and crispy. And then, and again, you know, use whatever vegetables you've got. You know, it just so happened that I had some carrots and some sweet corn that was over. You know, you could do it with any vegetables you want really. Courgettes or zucchini would work quite nicely. Say carrots are nice, and obviously sweet corn is nice, but as I say, courgettes would work. Trying to think what else. Not too many root vegetables I don't think will work that well, because you want it sort of a bit vegetably. But can you see how beautifully they're coming along now? And you just literally make sure that they're cooked on both sides. This is a very big one actually. I could have made 2 of these, but I just didn't want to have the rest of the... Come on, are you going to go over? I think just about going to get over the top. Might be a bit big there. There we go. Flatten that out a bit more. Okay, so you can see how they're coming along, getting beautiful and golden, and then as I say, just serve them with some ketchup, some mayonnaise, some sweet chilli sauce, some whatever you fancy. Have them as a side dish, have them as a lunch dish, have them as a supper dish. They're just great, and yes, they will freeze. But it's a nice, quick, easy supper dish, which I think is great. You know, I would have it probably with a piece of salmon or a piece of fish of some sort or something like that, or as I say, just a couple of them for a lunchtime dish. So I hope you enjoyed that. As always, please stay safe and well. Please be kind. I look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye bye.